One of the benefits of doing the Steve Malzberg show is that I get to talk every so often to one of my favorite people in the business, Lis Wheil, Fox News legal analyst. You see her there all the time. You watch her regularly on O'Reilly, the O'Reilly Factor, and she is also a best-selling author who has just completed the East Salem trilogy that she has been involved with. It's book number 3, obviously. Hello, Lis.
Hello, it's great to be with you, Steve.
Well,
yes, the book Fatal Tide just came out today.
Came out today. Oh, great timing.
And you're beating O'Reilly and talking about it.
I love beating O'Reilly.
He'll be talking about it later tonight.
I really love beating O'Reilly. Well, we're going to get to that book, and we have some time to do that.
You got it.
I know you got some free time down over there. So let's first talk about what's in the news, of course, and that is the shooting yesterday. What's your take on this whole thing and the way that Obama and Michelle Obama acted as well? Her promising that her husband would shake his groove thing.
Well, I mean, first of all, let's just talk about the tragedy of this. I mean, this is just so horrible that this person who'd talk about, the proverbial red flags, they were flying all over the place, and that he was not, if screened, really abysmally so. I mean, he had a criminal history, arrest history. He had a mental disease history, and still we allow this guy on the Navy Yard with these guns. And I'll tell you, what I heard today is the way that he got in was he shot the guard in the face. I mean, it just gets, the more details I hear, the worse it is. I don't think it's an Obama issue. I think it's more, I mean, I know, Steve, you're the political guy. I'm not so much political. I see it more as a real failing in our system to, why aren't we screening people?
Yeah,
why are we letting people on to have we not learned from Fort Hood, for example?
Well, absolutely. We have a horrific security issue with regard to our military facilities and our security issues. I had Bill Gertz of the Washington Free Beacon earlier, one of the best national security writers in the country, and he said that the system is totally broken.
Absolutely.
They know it's broken, but nobody's willing to. There's no oversight of it.
But how come after Fort Hood and all the atrocities that came there, and all the talk that you and I did, and so many of our cohorts, colleagues, talked about, okay, if there's a silver lining, and of course it was a horrible tragedy, if there's a silver lining in a tragedy, it's to make it better so it never happens again. And this happens with, just a guy is able to waltz in there with this phantom security card and waltz in with all this armory? No.
Well, actually, yeah. See, I hadn't heard that he shot the guard in the face. Maybe he did, but I don't think it was a phantom security card. The problem is he had top secret security clearance.
Yeah, but those are supposed to be looked at.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. Yeah, but it wasn't like right. But it wasn't like it was somebody that he stole somebody's.
You're right. I misspoke. You're
that's
right.
okay. That's
you're
okay.
Right. I mean, I just remember when I was a federal prosecutor, that you always had to undergo these. They had to redo your surveillance, or not your surveillance, your security clearance. They had to redo them
and
again
they should.
And they should.
Right.
Go
absolutely.
Because things change. Even in a 6-month period, things can change. So they were always doing that.
No. So there's no doubt there's a security problem.
Right.
There's also the red flags that were missed, and how someone with an arrest record at all,
exactly,
let alone involving guns, can get this kind of security clearance at a military facility.
No, it makes absolutely no sense.
But moving on from there's two issues now cropping up. One, and this is something that that we talked about yesterday, and even the left wing shows have been taking the Obamas to task. First of all, he held an event that was scheduled. He didn't cancel it. It was on the economy, the 5th anniversary of the economic tank. Yeah, and he actually said, and we played the cut before, in addition to trashing Republicans in general, and specifically, he said, do they really want to hurt people? I mean, while this thing was going on, he said that. And Michelle, earlier in the day at 10 o'clock, 2 hours after this started, she promised at a Latino event, a Latino music event that night for PBS, which was canceled, which was the right thing to do.
Right, cancel everything.
She said the president would shake his groove thing to students. Again, while they're cleaning bodies off the floor. I don't know what these people are thinking in the White House.
I don't understand. I'm not going to make any apologies. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand it. I can say nothing more than that.
No, okay,
There's no commonsensical, rational response.
No.
To that.
Now let's go to the gun issue.
Right.
Just as inappropriately, I believe, and as foolishly, I believe, the left is already out in full force saying we need more gun laws. Dick Durbin takes to the floor of the Senate. Dianne Feinstein. Barack Obama basically mentioned another mass shooting, is what he said yesterday, and kind of labeled it. And to me, that gave the green light to the Feinsteins and the Durbins to go ahead and say what they're going to say. Yeah, even Henry Winkler, tweeted out something that don't have any gun laws. Let's all shoot each other. When Washington D.C. has the strictest gun laws in the nation, we know. We talked about it. This was more of a security issue. This has nothing to do with gun laws or a paucity of gun laws.
No, because if he would not have been. If the security had been better, he would never have got even near that gate. So it wouldn't have been a gun issue at all. And you're right about Washington D.C. And there was a Supreme Court decision a couple of years ago being very, very strong on gun laws in Washington D.C.
Yeah, so I mean, it just seems to me to be the craziness that does. And by the way, a recent study in the last 30 years, mass shootings, which are classified as 4 or more people randomly shot in one setting by one person, about 500 and 90 or so people killed or something like that. Less than 0.1% of all the murders in this country in that time period.
Right.
So I
think it's less to do about gun control than it is about treating mental illness. I mean, I really do. And we think about Newtown. That was the whole that was raised in Newtown. Why did he have this gun? But it was also, wait a second, his mother was trying to get him involuntarily restrained and put into some kind of facility, and that's what apparently set him off. Again, red flags. Mental illness, mental illness, mental illness. This guy, mental illness. Why is nobody looking at that prong of the story?
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, let's talk about the exciting news, the book. Talk a little bit about where we've gone with 1 and 2, and where we are with the completion of the trilogy.
Fatal Tide, as you said, the third in the trilogy. It's with these characters out in East Salem, which is a fictitious town upstate New York, and it's all about good versus evil and Satan. And yesterday it was crazy when all this was breaking yesterday. I was at Fox and thinking, oh my gosh, Fatal Tide is coming out tomorrow. So many of the things that are in Fatal Tide are exactly mirroring what we saw yesterday, the evil. And we've got these 2 humans that are trying to bring some good to the world. I try to put a little humor into it as well, but so many things that you see in Fatal Tide are what we're seeing in our day-to-day news.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it's almost tragically ironic.
It is tragically ironic. It really is. You can't make this stuff up. Well, I do.
Yeah, I was going to say you do,
I do
but
make this stuff
so
up.
much of it is based on the unfortunate realities.
Yeah.
And it's scary, but your books are always such great reads, and they fascinate. Fascinate the reader, and I know that I've talked to several people who I've given your books to read after I finish with them, and they just they love them. They can't put them down.
And they're good, clean fun. I mean, I try to write in a way that it's not going to be, your kids aren't going to be running from the house screaming, and there's no swear words and all that stuff. But I try to bring up lessons about good versus evil, because we're seeing it whether we're talking about Newtown or Fort Hood or what happened yesterday in D.C. We're seeing it in our real life. So then I try to take it and kind of go from there and talk about the whole rift between good versus evil. But good will win out.
Yep. All right. Good. Well, that is a very positive way.
Gotta look at it positively.
To end it. Great luck with the book.
Thanks, Steve.
And we'll speak to you soon.
Sounds great.
Take care. Lis Wheil, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Steve Malzberg Show. And yeah, look, Lis tends to lean a little bit to the left on many issues. Legally speaking, socially speaking, is what I've my experiences in watching her and listening to her and talking with her over the years.